compete with people that are the best right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel. Like I always want to win. I feel like I'm a winner, and whoever's the best right now, that's why I'm trying to take that spot. That's where I get that competitive and that competition in hip hop. That's why I love hip hop so much, because that's what you compete for. Who's the best lyricist? How can you top that lyricist? And that's where you get what you get with sports and music.
Definitely.
To continue on the sports subject, what particular sport did both of y'all like the most?
I mean, for me, like Dash said, I mean, we played everything growing up.
Yeah,
I mean, we tennis camps early on. I mean, we lived across the street from each other all growing up. So, I've got an older brother. We've got a cousin who's the same age as us. So we were always outside, from waking up till late. We were outside playing basketball. But for me personally, I mean, I grew up playing soccer. So I played soccer in college as well.
Mm-hmm.
So soccer is probably the sport I'm most proficient at, if you want to say I'm proficient at anything, which I'm probably really not in retrospect. But I mean, I love basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Football. We both play on a football team together. We play in a basketball team together. So I mean, I'm a lover of all sports. So I get different phases of where maybe I really feel like playing tennis, or maybe I really feel like playing golf. I mean, it just kind of comes in waves. So but overall, I'm a lover of all sports. So
as for me, it's definitely between basketball and football. I really have a hard time deciding. So yeah, between basketball and football. And football, I just love, football. There's no other sport like football because it's so competitive and it's physical. Like you gotta really want it in football. And basketball's a little bit more finesse, and so it depends on how I'm feeling, but it's out of those two.
Mm-hmm. Now, one more question about sports. Who y'all going for in the Super Bowl?
Oh, Patriots.
So y'all
not the Patriots.
So
stand the Patriots.
So AF, I can tell you a Patriots fan. Dudda Dash, what's your favorite team?
I like the Raiders.
The Raiders, okay, that's what's up. Why the Raiders? Why the Raiders? Because I know an artist from Jersey, and she told me the same thing. Like the Raiders been like her favorite team, like growing up.
I'm just growing up, actually it's from midget football. I had some cousins that played on a midget football team, and they were the Raiders, and I just liked their logo and the way they looked. I liked the symbol; it was gritty. Then growing up, I just became a fan of the team. It's from the West Coast. I liked how the fans acted and whatnot. And then out here, I like to be different. I don't like to, out here is a lot of Patriots fans, the bum-ass Patriots.
Yeah.
And the Giants and Jets. So I was like, let me be a little different and go towards the West Coast. So I always follow the Raiders, man.
Yeah, because I met in one of the videos on YouTube, I seen a Dolphin towel. I was like, this man a Dolphin fan, yes. But you're a Raiders fan. I got no problem with the Raiders.
Pay homage to it, me out there. You got the I like the way the Dolphins look.
Yeah, man. So AF, why so you really love the Patriots?
Oh, I mean, hardcore Patriots fan. I mean, my father, I grew up in a Patriots household, so my mother's a hardcore Patriots fan. My father is a hardcore Patriots fan. So I never really had a choice growing up, other than to be a Patriots fan. But being from New England, I mean, Connecticut's kind of like a middle ground.
Yeah.
So you get like Giants fans, you get Jets fans, you get Patriots fans, and you have people like Dash who just gravitate towards whatever team they like.
Mm-hmm.
You get closer to the Massachusetts area, and you're in Patriots land like 100%. So, but I've always been a super Patriots fan from the Bledsoe era to now the Tom Brady era, and obviously, if you love the Patriots, you love Tom Brady. So
yeah.
I won't say too much about Tom Brady because I know that's the controversial subject. But that's my dude. I'm a Patriots fan, so we're ready to win the Super Bowl.
I mean, the thing with Tom Brady is like when Kobe out west.
Hey, Kobe! Dude, Kobe,
like Kobe growing up, like Kobe and Dwayne Wade and like Shaq was like my favorite players, of our generation and stuff like that. So when Kobe retired, you had a lot of them, teams from out west that was just excited. So my fiance, her cousin, because my fiance, she's from Manhattan, New York. So one of her cousins is a Jets fan, and we said one thing that we got mutual respect in is that when Tom Brady retired, we go be happy because this man been running the whole division for like 2 decades, man.
Definitely.
But to get back into music, I seen a video y'all did for Puerto Rico. Y'all Puerto Rican descent?
So yeah, my father is from Puerto Rico, and he moved to the States when he was pretty young. I still have some family in Puerto Rico now, but I'm half Puerto Rican and half black. So
yeah,
so that's kind of a little bit on my heritage.
What about you, Dudda Dash?
I'm full black, but I did that because I feel for Puerto Rico and what's going on with that situation. Plus, AF is half Puerto Rican, so we wanted to incorporate that in the music and the track that we did.
Yeah, cause like when I seen it, when the hurricane had came, we was hit, real bad. But I mean, it's the United States. Like we gonna recover. Puerto Rico haven't had a hurricane in about 70 plus years, so they wasn't ready for that. And
Definitely.
it's still crazy because a lot of people still don't have no power. Like I seen a video like last week that one of the schools just got power. And it was kind of
too.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, and it was sad. Like, damn. Like, if anything I can do, I can help. Me and my especially my fiance, she's Dominican, but she has a lot of family in Puerto Rico. She pretty much, like her family moved to like different places, and one of them went to Puerto Rico. So like that's like a second or third home, So it was like hard for her to see all that. But speaking of that, like because a lot of people don't want to talk about him. I don't really want to talk about him either, but it's really because I want to hear other people's opinions, especially about like the whole situation, dealing with Puerto Rico. Like how did you feel about that, AF? Like about like he wasn't really treating Puerto Ricans, because Puerto Ricans Americans, it's an American territory. Like he wasn't treating them like. He was basically treating Puerto Rico like a third world country. Like,
yeah. I mean, anyone that pays attention to the media and follows these types of things. I mean, there's obviously been a lot of stories to come out about things racially with how the president deals with things and his potential prejudices that might be coming out. So I mean, that's something that people know about. It's out there. And I know, especially, people in my family, most of my Hispanic families lives in Connecticut. So, I know that my family didn't appreciate the way that the whole situation was handled. It almost seemed like it was kind of like a second, third, fourth type of thought thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really taken that seriously. So, and then you see the videos of, him going there, and it almost seemed like it was like an obligation and kind of making a joke of it with
like he was forced to.
Like that. Yeah, so it just seemed a little bit disingenuous. And I mean, we could probably have a 2-hour conversation about politics and, things with Trump, but, I'll keep it simple as saying, I don't fully support most of the things that this guy says and what he stands for. And, I mean, you could come up with things for every president that ever served and say, I don't like this, I don't like this, that about him. But when it comes to not treating people equally across the board, that's when, I feel like, now we have to stand up, use our voice for something, and express our opinion on, we're not about people being treated differently because of where they look, where they're from, whether that be Muslim, whether that be someone from Puerto Rico, whether that mean you're Christian. I mean, it doesn't matter. Our music's for everybody. We stand for everybody. I mean, we come from a multiracial background, so we understand what it's like. So we're all about positivity, equality, and I think if more people spread that message, then you maybe get a little bit more positivity overall. So I mean, that track that we recorded it pretty much shortly after the whole hurricane issue and then the NFL issue, with that whole fiasco. So I think if you have somewhat of a voice, use it to express your opinions, and I think you can do it in a respectful way to where you're getting your views out, getting your views out there. So that's what we just decided to do with that.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was a great message because you don't really see that from. I mean, of course, you see like from artists, that's already made it and stuff, like they talked about it, but you don't really see it from a lot of up and coming artists, or I call them, like mid major, but I already want to consider y'all mid majors because I feel like y'all can blow up like in 2 hours from now, like the go back Dudda Dash, to go back to the Puerto Rico situation, but also to the NFL situation. Well, for both of you, how do y'all feel about that situation, especially with Colin Kaepernick?
I feel like I think it was tough for Colin Kaepernick. I mean, I think he's I feel like he's a leader for doing what he did. Taking a knee. It's hard. I mean, how can I put it? I just feel like he paved the way for a bunch of other athletes to do what he did, and I wanted to put that in a song, a message showing how much he meant to me also, seeing that he did that, and he put his job on the line, his life on the line. He doesn't have a job right now in the NFL, and that's because the way he felt and following the way that he felt like he was being treated unfairly. Mm-hmm. As a black man, you have to commend that, and I just felt like I needed to put that in my music.
Yeah, man, because I feel like the whole situation was unfair. Like, man, a lot of people understand too. It's like, all right, he could have stayed with the 49ers. He could have, because he had like an extra year. But he opted out because he wanted to bet on himself, meaning that he was like, I want to get more money. Mm. A lot of people don't realize that he ain't they ain't just kick him out. I feel like that was a reason how they did it. Like, they're like, oh, so he opted out, and that was a good reason for them to let him go and not sign him. And when I look back at the situation, I'm like, this man, what he did was so courageous. Like, I don't even know how many people would do that, like, would sacrifice their career. Like, people could say all they want, like, yeah, he got the money and stuff, things like that, but still, like, the man loved football. Like, that was his passion growing up. Like, that was one of his passions growing up. And,
definitely.
Just to see him, like, not get even a little chance, not even a tryout, because of, what he stood for. And it goes back, like, I be having conversations, with my homeboys and stuff about, like this whole world is like full of hypocrites. Like, you have people, which I believe people deserve second chances, like I was like for, like I voted on a ballot that people who have like, charges, like, what are the felonies? Like now people with felonies, they can't vote, but they trying to push that. I'm like, people, I feel like people with felonies should have a second chance. Now, to me, it's certain things that